It is showtime. 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 Boom. It's showtime. It's showtime. 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 It's show. Let the show begin. Let it begin. Let it begin. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Live, 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 live. Live. We're live. Good morning. We are live. Hi. Mark Sconti reporting. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Today is March 9. In the year 2023, only 1 year away from the big presidential election where America picks its lead face and voice. Right? Isn't that what the president is? The president represents all of the people all of the time. Right? It's a leader, it's like the queen ant or the king. All right. Does Marianne Williamson, after her run in 2020, or was it 2019, prior to the 2020 election, we got to see a little bit of Marianne, but it seems like she was pushed to the side because all the big Democrats were there. You had, Bernie Sanders there. You had Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Pocahontas, right? But does the point I'm trying to make is the other day I visited like a minute or two of Marianne Williamson, and she's in her 50s. She's 70. Looks younger, looks a lot younger. But I felt like I didn't give her due. And thank you, Weevil Girl, for pointing that out. We'll give her a little more time. It's early in the process. Maybe she's saying something that we need to hear. A woman for president, right? A woman. We'd love to see a woman president, but not just any woman. The woman's got the woman, it's in equal rights. The woman has to grab our attention. I'm a reporter. She has to grab my attention. It's not my job to go and sniff under her hood and kick her tires. She has to bring herself in front of the audience. Right? That's what Donald Trump does. He doesn't wait for reporters to come, to talk about him. He gives them something to talk about. All right, so that's what we're going to look at. We'll look at is Marianne Williamson got what it takes to push her over the finish line? Can she get the tails of middle of America, conservative America? Can she get their tails wagging enough to vote for her? Can the extreme left in the cities of America, who are rather burn it down than build it up, is she speaking to them? Who's she speaking to? Who is Marianne Williamson speaking to? And then one day we'll look at, see what Ron DeSantis is doing. Trump, I don't know. He spoke at CPAC. Seems like he's speaking to the whole crowd. He's speaking to all the conspiracy theorists. He's speaking to middle of America. He's speaking to pissed off workers. Trump knows how to push the button. So we'll look at Marianne Williams. Also, Alex Murdoch sitting in jail. There's a video, not a video, but a sound audio of his telephone conversations from jail. I believe this is about 18 months ago, the first time they corralled him into jail. He sat there, and then somehow he got out before the trial. I think he got out. I'm not sure. But anyway, he there's some very interesting. You've got to ask yourself, how does a millionaire lawyer who put so many people in prison and jail and work the other side of the criminal justice system, how is he going to survive in jail? So we'll listen to some of his video, some of his audio, his actual telephone audio, talking to his sister. and his son that's still alive. Also, a clip on critical race theory. They're stuffing it down your kid's throat. Stuffing it down your kids' throats. Critical race theory. They're telling there was a cartoon of some sort where kids in Virginia were forced to watch this cartoon, and it's basically a white person who turns into a mosquito and constantly bites people of color with their words. Oh, I didn't know you were black. Whatever the person says, because they're white, if it's stupid and they said it, then it's, see, it's because you're white. It's not because you're stupid, it's because you're white. Right? So we'll look at that ridiculous story. You got to keep talking about it as we segue into Marianne Williamson, because I'm interested. I mean, look, we're all interested in politics. We're not going to not be interested in who runs in 2024. Now, Marianne Williamson definitely has a big challenge because she's challenging not only the minds of people, but she's challenging the Democratic Party, who has a dead guy already in office. Right? Joe Biden is already there. I got a little speculation. I'll speculate right here. Not about Marianne Williamson, but I would say that since the Democrats have already declared themselves extremely corrupt and extremely not trustworthy in terms of elections, I would say that the primaries, I would say that it is possible that Joe Biden will declare himself candidate and thereby squash any primary challenge, right? So Joe Biden, I'm going to run for president. I'm running, and Trump on the other side, or DeSantis, whoever rises up on the right, and now it's game on, and then Joe Biden bows out. Oh no, he can't make it. He had a stroke. He's out of the public eye right now, and he's not going to run for president, and so. Maybe the Democrats at that point will usher in somebody else because they can do it. They don't care about, there was no primary, right? We planned not to have a primary, and then Joe Biden isn't capable of another 4 years of president. He can't even sew a sentence together now. He's showing signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. It does seem that his mental facility is fizzling out. But the Democrats are not going to not run him. He's the president. They'll run him, and then at the last minute, when it looks like he's going to get destroyed, they'll usher in someone else. Now, who will that someone else be? Well, it'll be a corporate hack. It won't be of the people. It'll be of the corporations. Corporations will sit down and say, "Oh, who do we get the most of? Is it Kamala Harris? I put her up, or is it Pete Buttigieg? Put him up." Right. And those guys, those people will gladly accept it, even though it's not the will of the people. And then you'll hear for another for months and months and months how despicable you are for not supporting your candidate, Pete Buttigieg or one of these people. Even when you didn't pick it, you don't want Trump, do you? You don't want the orange monster, Trump. So. That's a little prediction. Sprinkle that in there. So there's my thumbnail today. That is Marianne Williamson. She beautiful colors. I like the set. It's the tried and true in front of her. There is a crowd. Hillary Clinton couldn't do that. Joe Biden can't do that. Trump can certainly do it 10 times that. But just on face value, as you look at her imagery, the American flag. She's trying to be American and folksy. I had some immediate impressions as I watched her whole speech. I don't know if she's. Look, people don't want to be divided anymore. I believe they're looking for a voice, a unifying voice that makes them feel good again. Instead of saying, "Oh, the corporations are so fucking corrupt," and it's slavery in the modern age where people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, Marianne, it's not all about money. Some people are not, they're content with having, just enough. Right? Is that fair to say? Or they don't know any difference. They don't know any better. They don't realize that Jeff Bezos has a $500 million boat with a submarine and a helicopter. Right? And what do you got? What do you got? You live in an apartment building with and you throw out your own garbage, right? And make your own food. So, what is America? It begs the question, what is America craving for? What does America want to see? Just having, just being a woman is not enough. You got to be someone who really, really, really steps it up. And why is she wearing the pantsuit? Why not a dress? Why not a miniskirt? Why not a pink wig? What is female? What is woman? Is it now there is no woman? That's just politician? I don't know. It's a fascinating subject. So we'll look at that. So anyway, somebody saying audio only, blank screen video. I don't know. I think I'm live. Am I live? I'm live. I am live. Yeah, we're live, right? We are live. Are we live? Raise your hand in the chat if we're live before I start. Are we live? Please, please, please. Tell me, are we live? Are we live? Can you see me? Can you see me and hear me? Can you see me and hear me? You can hear me and see me. Just check in. My name is Mark Sconti. I got a website, and we're live every morning at 9 a.m., and also 7 p.m. every Tuesday evening, the Tuesday evening weekly Dharma gathering where people come together and stop thinking for at least 5 minutes in that show. And, it's maybe the saving grace. Marianne Williamson would certainly agree that mindfulness meditation, quieting down one's mind, solving the problems from the inside is probably a good way to go. So join us every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Open discussion, open chat, always video discussion if you want to join us every Tuesday evening. But every morning we're live, 9 a.m. right here, right now. It's the way to support the program through Zelle. We are looking for one billionaire to kindly shave off a cool million and fund this program. And let's make it happen. If the Marianne Williamson crowd is got $1 million laying around, hey man, I'll be your go-to guy. I'll be your mouthpiece, even though I don't have teeth. I still have a mouth. But you see what I'm saying. If some rich guy has no friend, you want to make a friend? I guess that's how money works. I don't really know. I don't know how money works. I don't know what money wants. What does money want? Hey, money, what do you want? What do you want for your money? What do you want to buy with all that extra money you have? Spread it around a little bit. So Zelle, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So Alec Murdoch. You know why I get his last name confused? I don't want to watch this. Maddow is Rachel Maddow, and Bernie Madoff. I don't know why. Murdoch, and then there's another the Fox guy. Anyway, his name is unusual. I got to stare at it and say it while I read it. Murdoch, Alec Murdoch. Making news with his creepy new mugshot picture. There he is with his shaven head. He is now property of the state in which he was sentenced to 2 life sentences in prison, running consecutively, meaning that if he dies, he comes back and he goes back into jail. So there he is. We're going to listen to some of the tapes of him. Some interesting details. He's down to 201 pounds at 6'4". He's losing weight like a mofo because of the shitty food in jail. How old is he? What was his age? I didn't put his age up. Age 54. I don't know. At 54, you got to really take care of yourself and eat very, very light in jail because they're essentially feeding you garbage. And I don't know. I don't know how long he's going to last in jail. Can he do it? He seems, interestingly, when you listen to the audio, he seems pretty upbeat. It's a fascinating story. I don't know why I'm still talking about this guy. And I don't know why I missed the story earlier, but he's a fascinating, cunning, deviously, interesting guy. A murderer, a killer, thief, grand larcener, steals from crippled people who are trying to make money on their lawsuits. This guy's a fucking villain, man. You talk about, like fucking the Joker being a villain or some other bad guy. This guy's the worst, man. They should come out with a wrestling character, right? The Alec Murdoch, right? Fucking 7 feet, bald white guy with a yellow jumpsuit. All right, try to fight this guy, man. See how long you last. Anyway, let's listen to his audio. Here he is in jail. Let's listen.
As I get off daily to sell my sneakers.
So here he is on the phone, Alec Murdoch, life as an inmate. And for the record, this was put up 8 months ago, so this was the first time they threw him in the can. I don't know if he was in jail the whole time while he was at trial. I really don't know that detail. Again, because I was late to the case. But here he is speaking on life in jail. And he starts off by, he talks about bad food, but he also talks about people constantly trying to buy his pink sneakers from him. Interesting.
Yeah. I got, those bright pink sneakers?
Yeah.
You think I'm joking, don't you?
No, I don't think you're joking.
I mean, every single day. Want to sell them sneakers for some canteen? Anyway.
You want to buy my sneakers?
In the Ritz-Carlton. I promise you that. But, I mean, shit, I brought on myself.
He said it isn't the Ritz-Carlton. If you don't know what the Ritz-Carlton is, that's one of the most, it's a high-end, it's a 5-star hotel. There's one in Manhattan. I don't know if there's any others, but I know where it is. It ain't the Ritz-Carlton, man. This is jail. I bought it. This is interesting, too, he says. Ain't no Ritz-Carlton, but I brought it upon myself. What did he mean by that?
I promise you that. But, I mean, shit, I brought it on myself, I can take it.
I brought it on myself, I can take it, he says. What did you bring on yourself? You killed your wife and your kid? No.
Or is there anything, when I get home, I can mail anything to you, like at soap or something like that?
Mail. I mean, the food's so bad, but Jim put some money on this canteen, so hopefully I ordered it today. They say hopefully it'll come Monday.
And what is it?
Little food like Pop-Tarts and some potato chips and stuff that you eat. I mean,
the food is uneatable, right? It's unedible. At least to him it isn't. It is. It's not edible. So instead, he's going to load up on Pop-Tarts and potato chips. That'll go well. That'll go well.
This food, you can't eat it.
Can't eat it.
Yeah.
But I lost 10 more pounds, 5 more pounds. I'm about 215.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway,
I think he's down to less. So that's 215 back then. What does he weigh now? He's losing weight like a mofo. So he was 215 then. Now he's 201. So he's dropping like a rock.
The funniest thing,
he's going to be a big skinny rail.
Is every day, I have my sneakers, my bright orange sneakers,
Yeah.
And every day, hey man, want to sell them sneakers for some canteen? I swear. everywhere I walk, somebody says, "Hey man, you gonna sell them sneakers?" Hey man.
So I guess the voice is Liz Murdoch. Is that his sister? Maybe his sister, somebody. It's a relative, same last name. And they're laughing it up. You just killed Maggie and Paul, and we're gonna laugh it up about canteen money.
Sneakers for some canteen. Hey, I've seriously considered it. If I had any other shoes, I promise you I would have done it.
Of course you would. Why not? If you got backup sneakers, you sell whoever the fucking sneakers, right? That's how jail works. Right? It's all commerce.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing good. Good as you can. Shit, I mean, just dealing with it, Like,
Yeah, I understand.
drive your ass crazy, but I mean, I wish I had a recording to play you some of the noises you hear at night
Really?
coming from these fools.
Oh, he's talking about the noise at night. Jail is loud. Slamming bars, people screaming, people talking because they don't know if it's day or night. All right, police wake people up every fucking 10 minutes, banging, slamming gates. All right, just dealing with the noise. Bad food, noise, people trying to buy his shit. Welcome to your new life, Alec Murdoch.
But
I gotcha.
yeah, I still get all.
How long before he kills himself? Alec Murdoch, are we going to have the Alec Murdoch kills himself story? Looks like it's coming.
Daily, somebody tries to buy my shoes.
Chris Milk says, "You got pretty lips, boy." I'm sure he's going to hear that one. "You got some pretty lips, boy." He's not in main general population. He's in an isolated medical unit at this point. And now he's talking to Buster. He's talking to his other kid, the one that he didn't shoot.
Well, you gonna sell them to somebody?
You don't know how close I've come. If I had any other shoes, Jim put some money on my canteen on Wednesday, so I ordered some stuff, and you get it on Monday, they say. But I mean, man, this food. Guy, you can't imagine what food's like in here.
So there's Alec Murdoch coming at us live from jail. So look at this story, and then we'll jump into Marianne Williamson. Critical race theory is teaching kids as a build-up. There's a build-up to some of the, think of it as we'll look at current events and things that are happening in our world. And this person, Marianne Williamson, wants to represent you as President of the United States. So these are the issues of our time. Guys like, a criminal lawyer shoots his wife after stealing millions of dollars from people. For some reason, shoots his wife and kid, and and other stories like that, and critical race theory on race. Right? People are pissed off. They're tired of being called goddamn racist. Everybody who's white is racist. Everybody who's black is a victim. Come on already. I don't want to hear it anymore. And I matter. I'm important in the equation. When parents reject public schools teaching critical race theory, a common resort from the left is that it's a university graduate level analytical framework that's incomprehensible by children, and therefore incapable of being taught in K-12 schools. Now, the academic racists, that's precisely what they say. Oh, no, that's a college, law school theory. But that's bullshit. It's bullshit. It trickles down into the system. You're telling me that schools are not teaching systemic racism by implying that the middle of the country, the white people they keep all the white racist people in the middle of the country, that they're all racist and they fucking hate you and they want to see you back in chains, and they're promoting that stuff. Right? They promote it. That is the promotion of critical race theory. I don't know what I want to say. So there was this video. I want to just build up to the video, attempting gaslighting. The gaslighting. This is an interesting line. Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton broke barriers in comprehending the laws of physics. That's true. Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton broke barriers in physics. Okay. But the vast majority of us can never fully technically grasp how or what they did. Now, isn't that fascinating that these great physicists did something so unbelievable and so amazing, but most people have no idea what they did? Now think about that. Think about that for one goddamn second. Why is Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, why do these people really matter if they weren't able to communicate to the vast majority of people? The vast majority of people couldn't understand them, which is interesting because you look at religious leaders like Buddha, right? When you listen to you read what the Buddha said about mindfulness and concentration, it's very, very hard. Most people that look at that, it's hard to understand. And without direct experience, you don't know what the hell he's talking about. So the vast majority of people, although his name is infamous, the Buddha, most people don't know what he's talking about. Or if you look at, say, Jesus Christ, for example, Jesus was better, I guess, at communicating a way for making the masses understand what he was saying. The Buddha says, sit quietly and it'll reveal itself to you. Jesus said, no, consider me God and my actions God. And then Jesus just proceeded to live a clean life. And he said, be like me. And I am the Son. I am to the right of the Father. Right? Something like that. Jesus made up some good stories to make people believe him. But anyway, Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton weren't so fortunate. Right? So let's look at this video. This video is fascinating. So you're sitting in school. Where are you sitting? I still can't find. Racist. This was pushed on Virginia West Springfield High School back in January. School officials forced students to watch this racist, dehumanizing video about microaggressions. All right, so this is critical race theory in action being pushed on young children. Let's watch it. So what do we got? So far, the image is a white girl, right? Girl, blonde hair, white, blonde, pink lips, girl wearing a dress. We have to say it's a feminine. And over here, we've got a black girl, right? Pink dress, black girl, female. Ages, I don't know. They could be young adults. For people who still don't think that microaggressions are a problem.
Oh, you're so well spoken.
Oh, just imagine.
Okay, so if a white person says, this is the message, I didn't make it up. If the white person says to a black person sitting at the bus on the bus stop, what did she say?
Oh.
You're so well spoken. Oh, you're so well spoken. Right? That's racist? That's racist? No. Oh, wow, you're so well spoken. Most people are idiots. Right? It's not because you're black. It's because most people are stupid. Oh, wow, you're well spoken. I wasn't expecting an intelligent person on the bus to be talking to. So the black in this situation is of course it's racist, right? And there's going to be other examples of it. Watch.
Just imagine, instead of being a stupid comment, a microaggression is a mosquito bite.
Ugh, it's a compliment.
Mosquito bites and their itch are one of nature's most annoying features. But if you're only bitten every once in a while...
No, where are you really from?
Where are you really from? So here's the white, I guess, the white person is not allowed to ask about your heritage because you were born in America and you're starting to disconnect to that heritage, and someone comes along, you know, especially like I'm from New York City. Everybody has an accent of some sort. If you're on the street, you hear all kinds of accents and languages. It's not bad to say, "Hey, where are you from?" It's just this is fucked up.
Annoying features. But if you're only bitten every once in a while...
No, where are you really from?
Cleveland.
Sure, it's annoying, but it's not that big a deal. The problem...
So the Indian guy felt like he got bit in the arm by the white guy because he said, "Where are you from?" It's ridiculous.
problem is that some people get bitten by mosquitoes a lot more than other people. I mean, a lot.
See, all of these very, very, worthy people that are have color on them. But the white guy, he's the idiot. He's the mosquito. He's biting them with his words.
But more. Whether it's on a date...
Oh, your English is so good.
Excuse me?
Going grocery shopping.
You know, everything happens for a reason.
I'm just buying apples.
Commuting to work.
So when are you gonna have a baby?
Watching TV.
We have to keep the Redskins' name. It's part of our culture and history.
Or just walking down the street with your partner.
I couldn't even tell you were gay.
Mosquitoes seem to pop up everywhere.
Do you know John? Give me shopping advice. I love Cher too.
And getting bit by...
It's racist. It's sexist. It's homophobic. It is victim. It is victim mentality. That's what this is. That's what you're teaching. You're teaching that anybody who is not in the pack, I guess. I don't even know what it is, but it's...
Mosquitoes every day.
Can I touch your hair?
Multiple times a day.
So pretty.
Can I touch it,
hair?
please? Can I please?
Is annoying. And makes you want to go ballistic on those mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. So that's it. So that's a good point right there, right? So if you're black and white people say things that are you perceive as being offensive, you take out your flamethrower and you kill them. So you're teaching young kids. See, aggression, that is the aggression. If you're looking for microaggression, this is real aggression. Someone says something you don't like, and because you're hypersensitive of your color, you pull out your flamethrower and you're justified.
Which seems like a huge overreaction to people who only get bit every once in a while.
It's just a mosquito bite. Who cares?
Just another angry black woman.
Of course, beyond just...
It is just another angry black woman. That's accurate. If a woman pulls out a flamethrower because of, or a baseball bat, because she doesn't like what's being said, and starts to use those weapons, that is an angry black woman. We see a lot of it.
Being annoying, some mosquitoes carry truly threatening diseases that can mess up your life for years.
Astrophysics? Maybe you should try this challenging major.
Ow, my dreams.
And other mosquitoes carry strains that can even kill you.
He looked like he was up to trouble, okay? I felt threatened.
So next time you think someone's overreacting, just remember.
They're white. Just remember, they're white.
Some people experience mosquito bites all the time.
You're all so exotic.
So here's a video that supports the argument that critical race theory is being taught in schools and forced down people's throats. They're breeding a whole generation of people that rather than look to American history and say, wow, the people that came before us, they did a great job. Wow, they set this whole thing up. Shouldn't we honor them rather than, okay, we're late to the party. Some of them understand us. They don't really know where we come from or what we're about. So let's pull out our flamethrower and kill them and knock down their statues and burn down their property. Or maybe you could just be compassionate and understanding and helpful. How about that? How about that strategy? It's a hell of a subject. And here's another one. If you think police are only targeting blacks, check this out. I don't know what I'm looking at right here. Footage shows five Utah cops fire into BMW of man during a traffic stop. Now, here's a white kid. We're going to have to listen to the audio. Let's see. Here he is. This kid got gunned down. White as white comes. Really white. He's a real white kid. So here it is. Here's the video of a kid getting gunned down.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Officer Farmington Police. The reason for the stop today is there's no registration on your vehicle.
I don't need registration and I don't answer questions.
Alrighty. Davis, Fox 21, can you have a couple more heading my way? Is this back window roll down?
Why do you need to know that?
I just want to make sure that you're the only one in the vehicle. So here's the deal, man. I'm stopping you because there's no registration on your vehicle, and I'm requesting...
So the kid gets stopped. He gets stopped, right? And he haggles with the police for a while.
Do you have a driver license as well?
I am not giving you jurisdiction.
And refuses to cooperate.
Here's what I'm...
They tell him they're about to break the window. There's no gun in sight. No gun.
Fraudulent passport?
And then this happens.
No.
Wonderful. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me.
No.
Sir, step out of the vehicle right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car right now.
Don't step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun.
So one of the cops, he's already in the seat, and he screams gun. They shoot him. So there he is, suffering from some sort of mental dilemma. Maybe he took too many hits of his THC vape that kids like to inhale. And he was freaking out in the car. Pull him over, DUI, whatever. But he died. He got shot. But there it is. 5 white cops shoot a white boy, a white man. Is this racism or is it bad policing? Well, it appears to be bad policing again. Here's the cops badly policing. Look at all the bullet holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. They shot from every angle because the kid apparently went for a gun. Did he really go for a gun? There's no evidence of that. So they shot him. They killed him. And there you go, man. There you go. So let's listen to Marianne Williams. Let her go. So this is Marianne Williams. If you're joining us late, we're going to watch some of her entrance into the 2024 presidential election. Is Marianne Williamson presidential worthy? Presidential worthy. On face value, we've got a pink jumpsuit, black shirt. Very, very woman-like. A man wouldn't have a shirt that is cut down to the middle of his chest to show off his chest. You know how ridiculous a man would look like that, right? If a man came out with his cut off, but because it's a woman, she wants to show you sexy. That's what women do. Oh, I'm sexy, right? The sex, right? I'm dressing sexy so that I can allure you with my sex. Is that why women, wear a shirt that shows cleavage? To show you their cleavage? See, look at my cleavage. Hey, wait a minute, you looked at my cleavage. That means you're a sexist. But no. You're wearing a shirt that promotes your cleavage. When you're wearing right? So, but anyway, let's listen to the tape.
Thank you. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for coming. I know some of you actually came from somewhat far away, some of you from other places in the country. I also want to thank those of you who are on live stream. I want to thank you all for those who are watching us from the live stream. She has a very unusual twang to her voice. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Is it some sort of accent that I'm not familiar with? It just doesn't sound. She doesn't sound familiar in middle of the road. She doesn't sound Southern. She doesn't sound Northern. She doesn't sound from the West Coast or the East Coast. Where the hell are you from, Marianne, with this accent?
You have joined me here today for what I hope will feel like a meaningful conversation.
A meaningful conversation. She sounds British, right? It's got like a British twang to her.
Martin Luther King said that our lives begin to end on the day that we stop talking about things that matter. And we are here today to talk about something that matters a lot.
What matters, Marianne? Get to the point. Come on. Give it
And
to me.
that is the United States of America.
Okay.
Now, we're all here because we care about this country. But we're all here, or at least many of us are, because we are upset about this country. We're worried about this country. We're concerned about this country. And we know that this country is plagued by many challenges now, not the least of which is hatred and division, which is greater than any of us have experienced in our national life.
What kind of race? What kind of division are you talking about?
We're concerned about this country. And we know that this country is plagued by many challenges now, not the least of which is hatred and division.
Hatred and division. All right. Well, you got to be more. You got to be more specific. So far, she hasn't said anything. She hasn't said anything specific. Just all hyperbole and fantasy talk. You got to be specific. What specifically are you gonna do?
Which is greater than any of us have experienced in our national life. And it is our job to create a vision of justice and love that is so powerful that it will override the forces of hatred and injustice and fear that lie present.
Sounds like something John F. Kennedy would say. Did she say it effectively? Is the mainstream of America does it resonate with the mainstream? We have to open our hearts to compassion and love. And they'll look at it like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? How are you going to address racism? And Weevil Girl points out she's against the corporate oligarchy. Yes, absolutely. I get that part.
It's one thing, though, to say that we're here because we want to do that.
She really, be honest, she reminds me, she's got the mannerisms of Kamala Harris. She's got this kind of nervous twerk about her. I don't know. She reminds me of Kamala Harris so far.
It's another thing to know, how do we do that?
How do we do that?
And as one young man who might be in the audience today, with such youthful sincerity, once said to me, he said, Marianne, what are we going to do? But what I've learned in my life is that the first question isn't always, what do I do? The first question is often, what do I need to understand? And
that's like word salad. I don't need to know what to do. I need to know what I need to understand. I'm not buying it so far.
Before the United States or any of us can know what it is we need to do, we need to know what it is we need to understand. This country is drowning in information and starving for understanding.
It's a sign of the time. It's a sign of the times, information. She said nothing to me. I haven't heard anything yet.
What we need to understand is the American story. And so just as when sometimes you're trying to understand your own life better by looking at your parents, at your grandparents, at your ancestors, it's time for us to look at the entire sweep of the American story, to understand better our past, that we might better understand where we are now. We need to know, what do we owe our ancestors and what do we know our descendants? And we can't know any of that until we see where we stand in the midst of the larger scope of the American story.
She said absolutely nothing. We have to look back and we have to look forward and know where we stand in the present moment. It's not a resonating message. I'm deeply sorry. I wish she was pushing, pushing the right buttons. To me, it's just, It's like a old hippie 70-year-old woman preaching love and togetherness, and I don't know. Is it leadership? I don't know.
Now, the American story began as an established nation in 1776. And in 1776, some very brave men, yes, they were very brave, because if the British had won the war...
You don't have to justify it. They were brave men. Oh, yes, they were brave. Like, she's speaking to the racists, because half the country has been brainwashed to think that the founding fathers of our country were not brave and they were racist slave owners. She's got to justify that. Trump wouldn't justify that.
All of them would have been hanged as traitors against the King of England. 56 men who came together and signed a document that infused the founding of a nation in a way that had never occurred before, with the idea, repudiating the idea of the divine right of kings, repudiating the idea of an aristocracy, repudiating the idea that a few would be able to suck up the resources of the country and make everyone else nothing more than an economic serf. They repudiated that.
Right. That's accurate.
And they declared that all men are created equal, that all men are given by God inalienable rights of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, but not those people over there in chains, because they're property, man. They're not people. That's how they viewed it.
They declared that it's the job of government to secure those rights, and that if government isn't doing its job, then the people have the right to alter it or to abandon it.
Yeah. See that note? She's got that nervous jerk about her. I don't know.
Now, that was extraordinary, of course, but it's also where the story got very gnarly. For out of the 56 men who signed that document, 41 of them were slave owners. So that dichotomy between the extraordinarily enlightened principles politically and enlightened principles morally, on which we purport to stand, is often at odds with forces within our country who usually, for their own economic purposes, have no intention whatsoever of seeing those principles actualized, and have proven in every generation, even unto ours, that they will go to the most violent lengths to make sure they don't.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Went right over my head, and I'm a smart guy.
That, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, is
totally utter nonsense.
American story. That dichotomy, that split mind, which is American consciousness, is baked into the cake. And it has been with us from the beginning, and every generation of Americans reiterates the story. Yeah. What we are going through right now is baked into the cake here. It is no different than what other generations have faced, but I'm here to say to you, other generations stood up and pushed back, and now it's our turn. That's what we need to do.
Pushback about what? She still hasn't said anything yet. Yeah. Corporations are big and overblown. We already know this. See how when Bernie Sanders said it, how it was received. Why not put Bernie back up? Why go here? She's reiterating a lot of Bernie Sanders right here.
Yes, we need to identify the problems in our past, but we need to identify with the problem solvers in our past. We responded to slavery with abolition. We responded to the institutionalized oppression of women with the women's suffrage movement. We responded to the Gilded Age with the establishment of the labor movement and the New Deal. We responded to segregation with the civil rights movement, and it is our turn now.
It is our turn now. Who is she speaking to? It's our turn now? Are you speaking to me? Are you speaking to... Who are you speaking to, Marianne? I'm not getting that warm, fuzzy feeling like you're speaking to anybody. She's definitely fit for 70 years old. She's 70 years old. It's quite remarkable at that. So she definitely practices what she preaches in terms of her own health. I would. That's nice in itself, you know.
But once again, we have to understand what's happening here. Because for the abolitionists, the problem was the institution of slavery. For the women's suffragists, it was the fact that we didn't have women's suffrage. You needed to pass a constitutional amendment. We needed to establish the labor movement. We knew that the problem was segregation. And so you needed the civil rights movement. You needed civil rights legislation. You needed voting rights legislation. The reason we have such a problem today is because it is not one specific institution that plagues us and that opposes real democracy and that opposes the equality of people and of economic justice, that opposes the very principles on which we stand. It's not one institution this time. It's like an atomizer spray of economic injustice. It is over here.
So Josephine accurately points out, "Oh, Marcus, you're torturing us here." Is this torture? Is that the consensus, that Marianne Williamson is torturing us with her rhetoric and her presence? I feel a little agitated by watching it. I mean, you got to be honest, right? As I said earlier, it's about entertainment, Marianne. Now, you've been in the spotlight a long time, man. You could put me on that stage and I do better, you know, just coming out of a fucking, you know, waking up in the morning, you know, without even combing my hair. I can deliver, you know, I don't know, man. She seems like she's had time and money to practice it and get her shit together. I don't know. It is a little torturous to watch. I'll give it a little more. Maybe she could redeem herself. Let's go.
Michigan. It's Flint, Michigan over here, and it's waters drying up and aquifers and rivers drying up in the American South over here. It's mass incarceration over there. It's 68,000 people who die every year from lack of health care over here. It's no one particular thing.
You just say it very simply. Universal health care is something that America needs and desperately wants. And, you know, I'm going to go forward with that, right? In a different way, not the old-fashioned way that didn't work.
And so it's easy to gaslight us, and we're playing whack-a-mole. If we could just get that fixed, if we could just get that fixed. No, the opponent is not a specific situation or circumstance. The opponent is an economic mindset.
Yeah.
The opponent is an economic mindset that has had its grip on this country for the last 50 years. Over the last 48 years, there has been $50 trillion of wealth that has been transferred from the bottom 90% to the top 1% of people in this country. This country...
All right, so the income and wealth inequality. Yeah, we know all about that.
...is now...
All right. There's a lot of rich people. I'll give it another 2 minutes.
In the grip of an economic mindset, whatever you call it. Some people call it neoliberalism. Some people call it free market capitalism. Some people call it crony capitalism. Some people call it hyper-capitalism. Let me tell you something. It's neither real capitalism nor is it a free market. It is a sociopathic economic system. It is a...
You're not going to win by calling rich people sociopaths. It doesn't work. That doesn't work. It doesn't work by... She's vilifying the corporations, which we're going to look at right now. You know what? Let's look at the market. Let's look at the market while we're talking about Kamala Harris's double, Marianne Williamson. Let's look at the market. While she's condemning the markets, let's look and see how they're doing. Oh, my God, the market's up. Have you heard? Dow Jones Industrial Average up 134. S&P 500 up 18. The NASDAQ is up 69. And everything is green as of this morning. These horrible corporations that want to eat your children like Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Meta, Rivian, Tesla, all up this morning. People who want to sell you bombs, the Lockheed Martin Raytheon crew, up as well. The vaccine pushers are mixed. Johnson & Johnson down $1, Moderna. So we got a upward, looks like red open. Nice to see Dow Jones Industrial Average up a little bit. And we'll take it We'll take it. We'll take the upward mobility. This is oligarchy, by the way. If you don't know what oligarchy is, that's why I always cover the markets, because if you want to know what Wall Street thinks, then just watch the markets, right? These are not radical people. These are people they're reactionary. That's what Wall Street is. They're like, hey, what are the sheep doing today? You know, what are the sheep buying? You know, what are the sheep selling? What are they complaining about now? And they just place their bets. Wall Street is gambling, is what it is. But it's everybody wants to be on that side of the gamble. Right? Everybody wants to be the rich guy with all the money. But, so, I don't know, a little more.
Sociopathic economics.
Looks like a raucous pay-for-play crowd.
Policy after policy after policy makes sure that those who already have will probably get more, and those who do not have will have a hard time even surviving. I remind you that in the 1970s, the average American worker had decent benefits and could afford a home and could afford a yearly vacation and could afford a car and could afford to send their kids to college. Before the 1960s, tuition was free. And
Okay. I've heard enough. She you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of a bad Sarah Palin. Now, Sarah Palin wasn't. You could argue that she wasn't full of information, or she didn't have this deep, great insight. But she came out and talked about, bear hunting in Alaska, which is a horrible sport. Or, she talked about putting gas in a tractor trailer. She talked about folksy American issues, not over intellectual jargon, right? Where it's nobody wants to hear it anymore. That's the problem. The days of the intellectual are over in politics. You got to go right to the heart. You got to speak right to the people. Ron DeSantis does it. Definitely does it. Trump does it like nobody else. Bernie Sanders certainly did it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Being the outside candidate, I just don't know if she's doing it. I don't know.
at state colleges and universities.
Yeah, free tuition at state colleges and universities. We've heard it before. There's legislation on the table right now in the Supreme Court with Biden's dismissing $20,000 in student loans. It's already happening.
That was then, and this is now. This did not just fall out of the sky. This is by design. And that design is now baked into the cake in this town where there are three.
Nah, I'm done. So I don't know. We'll keep following it. It's a nice effort, but I don't see I'm sorry, but I don't see the star quality. I don't see the potential win. I don't even see spreading. I think she spreads more racism. She spreads, convinces people that, there's so much racial inequality in this country. And you got to pick your target, man. If you're going to attack Wall Street, go right to the fucking source. Go say Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan Chase is manipulating the markets like nobody else. And if it crashes, it's his fault. Say something ballsy like that, or Jerome Powell is the head of the Fed, who's not even part of the federal government. They're their own fucking entity that manipulate market interest rates and every other fucking thing in the market. But anyway, man. So anyway, what else we got here? So yeah, thank you for joining me. My name is Mark Scotti, and. I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting 2024 run. I will guarantee, I will bet my last dollar that Trump is not going to bow out. There is no way that Trump is going to bow his head to the 46-year-old governor from Florida, Ron DeSantis, and say, Ron, it's your turn. It's just not in Trump's makeup. Trump is going to run him over. And all the Republicans are going to say, oh, you can't do that. You're hurting our candidate. He's going to hurt his chances for later. Trump don't give a fuck about that. Trump doesn't. That's not how it works. Trump is like, this guy's in front of me, And it's like Mike Tyson. You came into the ring, and Mike Tyson's about to punch you in the face and knock you unconscious. And you're going to say, oh, you can't do that because I got more fights behind me. No. Don't step into the ring with Mike Tyson. That's the theme there. That's who Donald Trump is. Right? And if you ever put him on the stage with a Marianne Williamson, he's not going to be nice. He's not going to be, woman, man. He don't give a shit. He's going to run them. He'll run a woman like that over. He'll smash her into the ground. Way worse than Hillary Clinton. So anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope that was helpful. I hope it wasn't offensive. I know people are, you get a candidate. We all want to see a good candidate. I mean, it would be fascinating in our time if we see a woman president. Maybe not that fascinating, but if the right woman should come along, and why not? Why not? I don't think the oligarchs, the money really cares, man or woman. They don't care about that. Man, woman, black, white. All they care about is that you do our business over their business, right? The people. We don't want to hear what the people don't matter. We're the people, man. We're the money. We're paying the bills around here, motherfucker. Support us. See you guys tomorrow, man. Marcus Conte reporting.